Hello, this is Dr. Wendy Rowley, and this is What You Can Do Now for Your Personal Evolution in the New Energy, Episode 8. All right, let's see what's coming forward today. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. It is Aliene of Cosmic Service, Pleiadian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you, peace be with you, and peace be with you. In this episode, we are going to speak a little bit about the new energy and the new divine intelligence coming into that energy, because it's very exciting. We've spoken about the new divine feminine. We've done some touching on heartfelt evolution about the Christ. I'm not really sure if we did it here, can't remember. And we are touching today about the divine intelligence that's coming in to the new Christ pathway. So in the divine feminine, there's getting an upgrade of the divine intelligence. I'm sorry, of the Christ healing ability. And now within that is a new upgrade of divine intelligence within that Christ healing ability. And this is kind of like a personal power. And this one thinks we're repeating ourselves too much, but what we have to say about that is this is a different aspect of it. And so she just needs to be patient and let it unfold. So in the divine intelligence, which is like your group personal power, you have your individual personal power, which we mentioned in Heartfelt Evolution, and you have your group personal power, which is called divine intelligence. And that runs in the central column through what's called your interdimensional DNA. And so the upgrade is happening out in what people call that 24th chromosome out in the outer torus. And that is exciting because what it means is you can have a greater, more direct communion in your heart field with the creative source. And that is purposeful and happens at the shift change time or the great shift you are in, which is this galactic window, along with the decision that you all made in two different registerings, 2004 and 2008, at the collective level by the higher creational beats of light and the angelics, to go forward and become an evolving planet and to not sort of go down the wrong path, which would prevent that from happening. And in that decision, it allows a whole bunch of things to go forward. And you're in a window where a lot of that is happening. And we have said in the past, there are three great times where this happens: the beginning, the middle, and the end. And you're in the middle. So there's a lot of upgrades. And one of these upgrades is the new divine intelligence into the Christ healing aspect, the Christ energy within the heart field. And so that's going to feel, it comes online, it's continuing, it's a thing happening at various levels of the creation, from the periphery of the planet all the way down into the center of the planet and all the way up to you all. And it percolates over a 3-year period. But in 2027, 28, and 29, along with the divine feminine, that will be coming in very strong and felt by you all in your spirit bodies. And what will that feel like? That will feel like suddenly you have a new beacon that's very strong when you pray or attune or align to the creative source. It's going to feel like there's less noise and buffeting about and a more strong direct channel. And that's a nice thing because humans are asking for that. They're asking for help. They're asking for peace. They're asking for solution. They're asking for upgrades to the earth and humanity because things don't seem to be working very well. Wars, greed, old energy starting up again. And it's been disconcerting. Politicians are fighting. No one seems to be going forward at certain levels, but other things are going forward in other levels, like technology. Why is technology going forward, but not politics? It's an interesting question. It's because technology is connected to a very creative level, and politics is not. And the politics is only connected as far as the connection at the heart level of the people doing the politics is. So there is a lack of attunement in politicians. And this one was told by her husband recently that they pray before they enter Congress and start a session. And she thinks that's beautiful. But maybe the problem is that a lot of them aren't being really engaged in that process and heart centered. Maybe some of them are just going through the motions and they're too busy and concerned about what they want. And maybe that doesn't serve the greater good. And it's not a lecture we're giving. We're using this as an example of attunement to the creative source, on that it needs to be a focused, open, and asking kind of attention. Because if there is such a thing as divine intelligence, which is a combination of the directives and the design of a planetary system and of humanity, then there needs to be an opening and an asking to be guided in that. And how many in Congress can say, I am truly opening and asking for guidance in that? How many don't even believe it? How many are asking for their own desires in that, as opposed to the greater good of the divine intelligence serving through all? And so that's one way of looking at divine intelligence. And one way of looking at the upgrade of divine intelligence is the idea that this is something that requires a greater group asking. So if you are evolving to develop a group consciousness, then the creating in the group consciousness layer needs to be more aligned together. So when you do your groups for healing or prayer or meditation or politics or whatever it is, there needs to be an alignment of surrender and asking for the greater good of all as the primary intention. And so we wish that to be brought up this day, for there is a need for that in various aspects in the United States, particularly right now. So when it comes to elections, perhaps ask creative source for the best and highest good of all on the outcome. How many people do that? How strange would that be to ask for the creator, creative source, the divine intelligence, the soul group creational level that's aligned to all of that, to do that for the greater good of all, that the outcome of the elections happen for the greater good of all. And they actually do this in other countries, more so than in the United States, because they're older cultures, particularly in known places with great spiritual backgrounds, such as the Orient and the Middle East has a great spiritual background, even though they don't talk about it. And India has a great spiritual background, and countries in Europe have a great spiritual background. And the United States was founded on a great spiritual background, but it has sort of shifted away from that a little bit. So this one is quite surprised. She had no idea we'd be speaking about this. So in what you can do now for your personal evolution in the new energy, it applies to you also. That when you attune in the beginning and you begin your meditation or your prayer or your whatnot, you align to the creative source and that divine intelligence, and you ask for the greater good of all, as well as the greater good for yourself. And before you engage in anything, it's a good thing to do. Whether you're in technology, whether you're in politics, whether you're in the spiritual healing alignments, whether you're in the medical profession, whether you're a deli worker, that your day, that all, because you are all in service. No matter what your profession, no matter what you do, no matter how lowly you feel it serves the greater good. And so aligning to that and attuning to that and asking for that is a beautiful thing. And that's what we wished you to know this day. Alignment for the greater good of all. Peace be with you. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do, and we bid you adieu.